So good morning, everyone. So let's get started. And Asha, just know what you're asking here. One of the very important point which has to be understood whenever we have two physical quantities which are varying in a sinusoidal fashion and both have same omega. What is the sum of these two quantities? And this is something I think many people struggle with understanding the sum of two quantities which are varying as a sine function. Let's say there's one quantity. This quantity could be voltage, it could be current, and this quantity is given like this, and other quantity is given like this. First of all, what we understand here, so can we find the sum? First thing what we check, both have same value of omega. The resultant quantity also will vary as a sine function, and that also omega will be same. Second thing what we need to understand here, if I have to say which quantity is leading, which is lagging here, if both are expressed as sine function, we can say here this phase is positive. So basically we can say y2 leads y1 by 5, depending on 5 values given. Y2, if y is, this is positive, y2 leads y1. If you draw the phasor also, if I draw whatever way I draw the phasor of y1, if I draw the phasor of y1, which is 0 here, y2 will always be ahead by 5. Now what is the sum of these two? Omega will be same. So when we take the sum, okay, the sum will have an amplitude. The amplitude will vary between 7 to 1. So when we have this amplitude, this value of amplitude can be something like we take the sum of two forces. It's like this because this phasor sum is like vector sum. It would be 7 if phi is equal to 0. It means both are in the same phase. It would be 5 if phi is equal to either plus 90 or minus 90. So, and it would be equal to 1, amplitude be 1 if phi is equal to 180. So the resultant quantity, it will have same value of omega, but amplitude depends on the phase difference. And this is one thing which has to be clearly understood for quantities which are varying as a sine function. If this is not understood, anything related to the sinusoidal quantity will not be understood. Second thing what we have to understand here when we talk about the last couple of months, we have spent time on DC current. So what we understand in case of DC, in case of resistance, voltage and current are related. Similar thing happens in case of AC. So let's understand what happens in AC, current and voltage across different circuit elements. See, whether it's R or L or C, voltage and current are related, and both are varying as a sine function. Understanding the relationship is important here. So let me again try to recap this part here. What happens in case of inductor? So when we talk about voltage across resistance, we are ignoring the rest of the circuit. So as the current is, if we apply a varying voltage across resistance, which is varying like this, even current also will vary with the same time period. So this and whatever value of omega the applied voltage has, current also will have same value of omega. And how would the current be? So in three elements, all three also, if we apply a voltage either across R or L or C, each of the three cases, if voltage varies as sine function, even current also vary as a sine function. But there's some difference also. That's what we need to understand here. Okay, so each sine function will have a omega of current will be same as omega of voltage. These two things are important. This is what we need to understand here. First case, if the resistance, current and voltage are related like this. So what we understand here, at any instance, as the voltage is varying, whatever at an instance, whatever voltage it has, current also will finally be equal to IR. So whenever voltage reaches its maximum, current also reach maximum. When voltage becomes 0, current also becomes 0. And so here we say this voltage and current both are in phase. Okay, this is what happens in case of resistance. What we need to understand, what happens in case of inductor. Why this happens here? But any instantaneous value of current is equal to instantaneous voltage divided by R. So it is direct proportionally related. I is directly related to V. But when we come to inductor, current is not directly related to voltage. What is in case of inductor? Voltage is related to what? V is related to L di by dt. Rate of change of current and voltage are related. So if this is the voltage which is applied, Again, we are ignoring, if we just check what is the voltage across inductor, if this is a voltage, it could be part of the circuit, it could be isolated. If this is a voltage, how would current vary? So in this case, this is how the current was. If I draw the current here, see what will happen here. The current, rate of change of current is equal to, proportional to voltage across L. Okay, so when voltage is maximum, rate of change of current is maximum. Well, voltage is zero, current is not zero, rate of change of current is zero. So this is the voltage and this will be the current. Okay, so all these cases, both the cases, if we draw the phasor, we can represent this by phasor. In case of resistance, if V is like this, even current also will be in the same phase. That's what we say, current also will be in the same phase. Let's see in this case, this is case if we at t is equal to 0, if I take this t is equal to 0, if I draw phasor, how would the phasor look like? Voltage phasor t is equal to 0, voltage phasor will be like this. And what we notice, current is around, this will be the current phasor at this particular instance. So at any point of time, the voltage will lead current by 90 degree, and that's called LE. Okay, so here also, so that's what you need to understand. Voltage and current are related, but there could be phase difference. Phase difference in case of resistance it is 0. In case of inductor, current lags by 90 degree with reference to voltage across inductor. We are not looking at what is happening in the rest of the circuit. If we are talking how the potential drop across the inductor, if that is varying, how would current vary? This is a relationship. Okay, that's we can represent in phasor. Second thing, yesterday we did RL circuit. Let's try an RL circuit in terms of example. So this is a circuit connected. So let's see what are the things we have given. So any circuit, I have connected a known resistance which is equal to 10 ohms. This inductor, value of inductor also is given. That could be the case in typical circuit. This value is also given, √3 by 10 pi. And I connect up AC supply source. AC supply source, this is the voltage given. Okay, so in this case, can we find what are the other things we can find here? If this is what is given, what are things we can find? We can find. I think we may be interested in finding how would the current vary in the circuit. How would the voltage across resistance vary? VR. How would VR vary? And how would VL vary? Can we find all these terms? Yes, we can find all these terms. And let's see step by step how do we go about finding all the terms here. First thing, whenever it's given like this, we find here, if this is what is given, we find XL. What is XL equal to? This also will have similar to resistance property. So what will XL be equal to? XL we know in case of inductor, it is equal to omega times L. What is omega here? Omega is 100 pi. So 100 pi into L, if I multiply, it becomes equal to √3 by 10 pi. So this becomes equal to 10 √3. That's XL. So we find XL. What we should do next is to find current. What are things we need to find current? To find current, we need this amplitude. What is the current amplitude equal to? I'm going to use this current amplitude is equal to, if I take either max current, will be equal to its amplitude will be Vm by Z. So I think what we are doing now, we are in the process of finding Z. What is Z? Z is called impedance, what we had done yesterday. And what is Z equal to? Root of R square plus XL square. So I find XL, then I can find Z. Once I find Z value, I can find I. So what is Z equal to? Using this formula, I find the value of Z also, which comes to 20. And once we have Z value, I can find amplitude of current. Amplitude of current will be equal to amplitude of voltage divided by Z value. So I found Z value. Then to find current, I have found current also will have three things. It will have omega, it will have amplitude, and it will have phase constant. To understand phase difference, what is tan phi equal to? Tan phi equal to, we have done that yesterday, tan phi is equal to XL by R, which comes equal to, we substitute XL by R. It comes, if I substitute XL by R, it comes equal to 60 degree. So what does this tell you? This XL by R indicates 60 degree. Who is leading or who's lagging? In case of inductor circuit, voltage lags. So this, voltage leads, current lags. So compared to voltage, current will lag by pi by 3. So can we write the equation of I now? Do we have all the terms necessary to write an expression for I? We have its amplitude. We have its omega. And compared to voltage, it will lag by pi by 3. Now we have all the terms to write I. So I will be equal to pi by, this is amplitude, omega is same, and whatever V we had, it will lag by pi by 3. So this is expression for current. Once I have current, can I write an expression for VR and VL also?
Yes, sir.
We can write expression for VR and VL. How do we write VR? So VR, what is the amplitude of voltage? Amplitude of voltage across resistance will be equal to, what will the amplitude I into
I naught capital R.
I naught R. So VR also I can write. And what will be the phase constant here? Phase constant here, so in this case, see what we have, VR will be in the same phase as current. So this also is minus pi by 6, this also will be pi by 6. Similarly, we find VL. What is VL be equal to? VL be equal to I. Magnitude will be Im into XL. So this is the amplitude of VL. How about phase constant here?
Plus pi.
I have, so from compared to I, this will lead by, so this will lead by 90 degree. So from here, I add 90 degree here. So whatever phase I have for current, it will lead by 90 degree, I get equal to pi by 3. So I hope all the steps are clear. And if it's not clear also, please go through 2-3 times, see that this all steps are understood. So I have found I value, VR value, VL value. So at any instance, we'll know what is VR, what is VL. Okay. And can we represent in forms of phasor? This is how the phasor will look at time t is equal to 0. And this I have drawn to the scale. So what does this one mean here? The blue color, this indicates applied voltage. This indicates VL. And this indicates VR. And so this is at t is equal to 0. So can t is equal to 0, how do you find what is the value of applied voltage at t is equal to 0? If I take its y component, its projection on y-axis or its y coordinate, this angle will come to 30 degree. This indicates, this value indicates instantaneous value of applied voltage. This value indicates at t is equal to 0, what is the voltage across inductor. And this indicates a value of voltage across resistance. And of course, if you can easily verify, if we take sum of these two, it will come equal to this. That's what it means. Any instance, sum of these two with sign will always match up with the applied voltage. So this is how the phasor will look like. And suppose I extend the question a little further. If I say draw the phasor and then find the value at 50 by 12 seconds. 12 seconds, the frequency is 50. So 50 by, sorry, I write after, say, what time t is equal to t by 12 seconds. It's just better to understand. So what will happen after time t is equal to t by 12 seconds? What has to happen? What way the phasor will change? In t by 12 seconds, entire phasor or entire set, each one of them has same value of omega. There are how many phases I have drawn here? This is VR, there's I here, there's a applied voltage, and there's VL. All of them will rotate by 30 degree in t by 12 seconds. So if I rotate 30 degrees, just imagine whole thing is rotated. How would it look like if this angle is 30? If I rotate everything by 30 degree, okay, I'll come to power also. I miss power part. This is how we just rotate the phasor. This is how it will look like. This angle was 30, so now this angle becomes 60. This angle was 60, now it has become 90. Even at this instance also, this will be the y coordinate. This y coordinate or projection of phasor on y-axis will indicate instantaneous value of applied voltage. This will indicate voltage across inductor, which will be maximum value. It's already become vertical. And this one, what is the y coordinate of voltage across? What is the blue line indicates? VR. What is VR after t by 12? VR is 0. That's why applied voltage at this instance is equal to VL. And how would the current be at this instance? At this instance, current will be 0. So this is something I had done for t by 12. Similar way, if I had to draw t by 6, what will happen? Again, I rotate this whole phasor by another 30 degree. And if I rotate this phasor by 30 degree, again we'll have new values of y coordinate. Those new values of y coordinates of all the phasors. There are 4 phasors I have drawn here. All those phases, y coordinate will give you instantaneous value at this particular point of time. And what will the power consumption here? If we have to do, we are talking about average power consumption. This will not consume any power. So here, what is the current flowing? If I look at this, the current which is flowing in the resistance as well as inductor. So what is the peak value of current? Peak value of current flowing through resistance as well as inductor is equal to 5 root 2. It means current, which is RMS value of current, which is flowing through resistance, is 5. If RMS current is 5, can we calculate what is the power consumption? So power consumption is very simple. Power consumption, average power consumption in a circuit having R, L, and C is only equal to power consumed in resistance, which is equal to IRMS square into R, which will be equal to IRMS is 25 into R. That's the power consumption, which also makes very common sense. So this is important part. See that all of you understood. Yes, Vignesh?
Sir, what is the sign of, like, suppose that t is equal to 0, VR will come negative, right, sir?
Yes. So basically,
What
what
does
is
that mean?
positive, negative? See, we don't define positive, negative. One thing what we understand here, if we go in a particular direction, let's say this is something. So if across the resistance, if potential drops, if they're in the opposite sign, across the inductor, it will rise. Are you making sense now? See, this is
Yes.
how we apply it is in sense of loop rule. If one is positive, one is negative, it means if I take this point A, B, and C. Okay. If from here to here, if potential drops, here to here it will rise. If they are in the opposite sign, means they will in the opposite direction. If I apply loop rule, if one is positive, other will come negative. Because we don't
Because it
assign the
depends.
sign. And most cases, is it okay? Understood or not?
Yes, so it depends on whether the current is increasing or decreasing also, right?
It doesn't matter at all. But this, if I take in this fashion, what does it indicate? See, have we defined what is positive or negative?
No, sir.
No, sir. So this is the only thing what we understand here at this particular instance. Okay, yeah, we can figure it out. But so if VL is positive and VR is negative, okay, based on this, what will happen to current? Do we know what is happening to current at this instance? We can mark that also. If I take, see, current also will not define. Assume that I have taken current direction, this has to be positive. If I take clockwise direction to be positive, what is the current here at this instance? Current is positive or negative? Phasor. The current is the red color. Is the current positive or negative at this instance?
So negative, right, sir?
Negative. Okay. So current also, this is something. So I can choose positive, negative in terms of clockwise. I will mark it. Maybe I'll take up some question later. For now, you understand this. Typically, we never come across a question where you have to identify which is positive, which is negative. Never. Okay. All you need to understand, yes, are they in the same sense or they in the opposite sense? Right? So, but we can mark it also. Then we have to choose a sign convention. But I have not seen a question where you need to do this. But if you want to understand, I'll explain that part. Okay. Typically, what we need to find, what will the instantaneous values of voltage. Even this also normally doesn't come. Even this much detail also doesn't come. But if you understand, this helps your conceptual clarity better. Question which come are much simpler, but this is something, this is next level of understanding. And to understand how the current direction and all will be, that becomes a choice of sign convention. If you're interested, I'll do it one or two questions. But first, let's understand simpler things, then we go to this part. What we understand from here, they will have the opposite. Have you understood this point? Whichever orientation I do, the y coordinate of applied voltage will be equal to sum of y coordinates across these two applied with sign. You can check in every condition to hold good, and which is the basis for derivation. Okay. Now we'll look at, we have done about inductor, what happens in case of capacitor. We have done resistance and we have done capacitor. So can you recall, okay, Vignesh, can you tell me what is the first step we are going to do if you solve the circuit here? What is the step one? What we have done in case of AC supply source connected to resistance, AC supply source connected to inductor. That we have done already. Now we are doing capacitor. What is first
so the applied voltage will be equal to the potential
right.
drop or rise against the
so
capacitor.
applied voltage will equal to Q by C. What are we interested in finding? Finding current. How do we find current here in this equation? Fairly simple. What do we do to find current here? This equation.
dq by dt.
We get expression for Q and differentiate.
This is just differentiate. So this is something I think we don't have to do 3 times. We are doing same thing 3 times. We are not doing 3 different things. Same thing we are doing 3 times. Differentiate to obtain current. So current equations, this omega comes here. This is the current equation. Next, what you'll do here? This is in sine and this is in cos. What is next thing we do here?
Sine pi by 2
To
plus
compare both, we convert into sine. And so
Yes.
basically sine pi by 2 into cos omega. So this is expression, and what with this term, entire term becomes my amplitude. So this becomes my amplitude. What is Im equal to? There's nothing new we are doing. Im also, why we have written Vm divided by something? It was equal to, what is Im? Im was equal to, it was coming into nice form. What is the nice form? Omega c, everything in the numerator. Why we have taken Vm divided by something?
It's equivalent to resistance.
Equivalent to resistance. This also we have done before. So this also, so that the term in the denominator has similar dimensions and as resistance. So we have wrote like this. Okay, and then we have done what we have done in case of inductor. Same thing we repeat in case of capacitor. This expression. And what is this term equal to? The term 1 by 1 omega naught is analogous to R, and it is called capacitive reactance. And it's not difficult to guess why it is. That was inductive reactance. This is capacitive reactance. XL, XC. All you have to remember, in case of XL, it was, sorry, I made a mistake. This is omega C here. Both the terms are C. I'm not typed properly. Both the terms are C. Please note. These terms are C. Okay. So XL was equal to omega L. Here it is 1 by omega C because of a difference in integration differentiation. So it is in the denominator. XC same dimension. This also limits the, that's the reason why we call it same thing we repeat here. A constant is 0. Okay, here also no power consumption. We see sometimes stores energy. When charge increases, it stores energy. Charge decreases, it releases energy. Okay, and in terms of phasor, how the phasor will be in this case? What happens to voltage compared to voltage lagging or leading? It is minus pi by 2. Current lags voltage. So in case of this typical nomenclature mnemonic we use IC, ICE. What does ICE means? Okay. Sorry, my bad here. But there's something is plus pi by 2. I think I copied from register. So current leads voltage by 90 degrees. So this sign is plus. This leads up. Just look at this previous case. Okay. Yeah, it comes equal to pi by 2 while copying here. This is plus. So basically current leads ICE. And in case of inductor, it was LE. Their voltage was leading by 90 degree. Voltage across the inductor alone leads the current in inductor by 90 degree. Here, voltage across the capacitor alone. If there are multiple elements, there will be voltage across other elements. Here, which voltage we are talking about? Voltage across capacitor will lag by 90 degree, or current will lead voltage by 90 degree. Okay. So suppose this is applied voltage. Can we draw, based on our understanding, can we draw the shape of current curve here? Can we draw the shape of current curve here? What happens as the voltage keeps increasing? See, if there's no resistance, what will happen? As the voltage increases, the charge also keep on increasing. So here the charge was 0, and the charge also keeps increasing. So as the voltage keeps increasing, and what is rate of increase of charge? So basically, so can we draw current here? How is this related? V is equal to Q by C. So what is I is equal to, I is proportional to dV by dt. So here, as long as slope is positive, where would the current be 0? What will the current at this point of time? At this time, what will the current here? At this point, what will the current? When the voltage has become maximum, what will the current at this point of time? dV by dt maximum, current is here, voltage is not changing. If voltage is not changing, charge is not changing, current is 0 here. So this point current is 0. Here dV by dt is positive, hence current will be positive, and dV by dt at this point will be maximum, hence the current will be maximum. How would current vary? The current will vary something like this. So again, here dV by dt is negative, and slope here, in case of sine curve, here the slope is 0. This point slope is maximum. When the slope is maximum, the current also, when the slope is maximum, the current also will be maximum. But since the slope is negative, current also will be negative. So this is how the current curve will be. And what we notice here, compared to voltage, the peak value of current reaches earlier than peak of voltage. It leads. That's why I call again IC. So we could have drawn this current curve for given applied voltage. What will be the current in the wire connected to capacitor? we can draw based on our understanding also, which matches with the derivation as well. Okay, I is equal to C dV by dt. Positive slope, negative slope. Slope is positive. Wherever slope is positive, current is positive. Wherever slope is negative, current will be negative. When the slope is maximum, current is maximum. Okay, now let's look at simple application of the same. So this is the applied voltage connected to condenser. Okay, what will be the reading of ammeter? So we have to find what is the reading of ammeter. So what we have to find the reading of ammeter? What does ammeter reading show?
RMS current.
IRMS. To find IRMS, what I need? I need I maximum. If I find the amplitude of current, and what is the amplitude of current in case of capacitor circuit? Amplitude of current is equal to amplitude of voltage divided by XC. So what I need to find this term, I need maximum current, amplitude of current. To find amplitude of current is equal to the voltage amplitude divided by XC. And if I find XC, I can find rest of the things. So what are the steps to solve? First, we'll find XC. The condenser is given. How much XC will be equal to? What we have to remember, XC is equal to 1 by omega C here. What is omega? Coefficient of T is equal to omega. So omega here is 100. And what is C equal to? 1 into 10 to the power minus 6. Okay. So do we get I here? Once we get XC, we can easily get IM. And from IM, I get IRMS. And IRMS is the reading of ammeter. Okay. And I think this comes as the answer. So this is a simple question, simple application. Okay. Can we write an equation for current here? This something can be, how would the current be if this is a phase? Current will lead or lag here in this case. Is capacitor circuit. So which leads? Current leads by 90 degree. So if here in this question we don't have to write, but if we were to write, the term would be equal to sine 100t plus pi by 2. Rest this is Im. We can easily solve that value. Okay, that's what you need to do. So the reading is IRMS, will depend on Im, and Im is equal to Vm by Xc. We can easily solve. Okay, pure inductor is connected to a source of 220 volts. Find the inductive reactance and the RMS current in the circuit. This is also a simple question. What is inductive reactance? Here inductor is connected. We are talking about XL. We should remember XL is equal to omega L. Is omega given here? Frequency is given as 50 Hertz. Omega is equal to 2 pi into frequency. So you can find out XL. How do we find RMS current here? I need to find IRMS. So when we apply this rule, either I can check current also RMS, V also RMS, or if this is maximum, V also has to be maximum. So why RMS will be equal to V RMS by XL. Is this 220 volts here is RMS voltage or max amplitude of voltage? Whenever it is given like this
RMS.
is RMS value. So this also is very easy question, simple substitution. All you can easily solve. Similar way it is given for a capacitor. A capacitor is connected to a source of, again this also RMS voltage. F is given as 50. This means omega is equal to 2 pi F. Find the capacitive reactance. What is capacitive reactance is equal to 1 by omega C. And find the RMS current. RMS current also is easy to find. What will be IRMS be equal to? If I have to find IRMS, IRMS will be equal to VRMS, which is 220 divided by XC. If I have to find max value of current, will be equal to either I can find V max divided by due, or maximum value is equal to √2 times IRMS. This also we can easily find. Only thing what he had, what happens in frequency is doubled. So suppose same source, rather than 100, now somehow we can change the frequency without changing the peak value of voltage. If frequency is doubled, omega also will become double. If omega becomes double, XC becomes half. If XC becomes half, RMS current becomes. What will happen to RMC current? This will also become. See, if omega gets doubled, sorry, per one frequency gets double, omega is double. If omega becomes double, XC becomes half. If XC becomes half, IRMS also becomes double. So what we understand in this case, even if keeping the voltage same, if I keep increasing the frequency, what will happen to current also will keep increasing. If I double the frequency, current will become double. If I make the frequency 4 times more, the current also will become the current also will become 4 times more. Okay. So keeping VML same, we can vary XC. I think this is to make you understand. This term depends on frequency of supply source. And okay, something like this. This question also similar, a small variation of the same question. A constant voltage. Voltage is not changing at different frequencies. Is applied across a capacitor. So this capacitor, this AC source. So we can, what we say here, we can write as this Vm sine of 2 pi f t. This is something, this is voltage. And what we are showing here, this term is constant. Vm is maintained constant. Which term is varied? F is varied. F is gradually increased. And for each one, what we'll have, we'll get a corresponding value of current. And current is plotted. Ammeter, this will give you RMS value of current. What will the shape of curve? So what we need to do, I need to find what the value of IRMS as a function of omega. How is IRMS as function of omega? It will be equal to Vm divided by √2 into XC. What is XC equal to? 1 by omega C. And omega is equal to 2 pi FC. So what I find, IRMS is equal to some constant into frequency. So how the current will vary? This is how the current will vary. This is a variation of previous question. Okay, so we can. Okay, I'll do one more thing here. Okay, maybe. You try to understand this one curve is like this. Second curve. What happens if the frequency is doubled? Time period will become half. If this was the earlier applied voltage become like this. Peak will remain same, and it will get compressed to half the time. So what will happen? It is reaching from 0 to maximum voltage in half the time. So charge on the capacitor also from 0 charge to full charge it will acquire in half the time if frequency is double. If this was frequency f, this is frequency is 2f. That's why the time period has become half. If time period becomes half, from here to here the time taken to fully charge the capacitor also becomes half. So for charge will remain same because final charge depends on what is the final charge? C into V. So if a maximum voltage remains same, it will acquire same value of final charge, but it has to take half the time. Yes, Vignesh?
Sir, how can the peak be same when omega is changed, sir?
How can V be same? No, see,
the peak.
It's a question. They're not asking how it can be kept same. Is this asking how to generate this? See, this is a hypothetical question. Is it possible to have two sources of same amplitude but different frequency? It is possible. Okay, so this question is not asking you how to generate that one, how to vary frequency keeping the voltage constant. It is possible. I'll tell you what are ways we can do it. One way of doing it, see what we are doing here, we are maintaining the voltage across the capacitor as constant. Okay, assume that it is possible. Assume that it is possible.
Sir?
Yes?
I was asking, how do we know that the peak value of the current in the graph is not changing?
Okay, see, suppose, let me redo this part. See, so, this is something, see, suppose this is, there's a particular frequency and this is Vm. This is applied voltage. Okay, if this is applied voltage at this time, what is the charge on the capacitor at this point of time? At this time, what will the charge on the capacitor? Voltage is 0. Charge is always equal to V into C. So here the charge will be 0. And by that time, the voltage reaches, how much time will it take the voltage to reach its peak value from here? Depending on the frequency, it will have certain time period. It will take time t is equal to t by how much? T by 4. And so from here, the charge has become 0 to VMC. This is at frequency f. Now, if I connect it with, I have another AC supply source, which has same amplitude, but frequency is double. Can I draw the shape of the curve with the frequency double? What will happen? This height of the curve will be same. If frequency is double, what will happen? Time period will become half. So this curve will get confined into this shape. How the curve will be? How would the voltage curve will look like? The voltage curve will look like this. Are you following so far?
Yes, sir.
If this is how the voltage curve is, what is the change which is happening? Earlier, it was acquiring full charge from here to here. This was the time it was taking. Now, how much time it has to take to acquire full charge? Half the time. Are you following so far?
Yes, sir.
So I'm just giving logical explanation of the same equation. So if the time taken is half, how would it acquire the same charge in half the time? The rate at the charging take place has to become double. The current also has to become double. That's what this equation says. I'm just giving explanation in terms of graph. And assume that you have two sources. You have an AC generator which generates something like this. Then afterwards you connect to another generator. What is the other generator? Other generator is equal to 200 pi. And you have third generator which is 150 kV. So all the different sets of generators, they have same amplitude of voltage, but they have different frequencies. Is this possible? It's possible.
Yes, sir.
We can do that. So it is not the same generator, it is generating different frequency. Okay, and even that also can be done. How do we do it? How do we generate frequency? Suppose I have a coil. By suitable adjustment of number of rotation of the coil, I can control frequency by frequency of rotation of coil. How do I how do I manage amplitude? By changing the magnetic field. We can change this also. We can do that, but that's not the question right now. Frequency will depend on frequency of rotation of the coil, and amplitude depends on other parameters: area of the coil, magnetic field, and frequency of rotation. If I make the magnetic field 1/4, it will have the same amplitude. Okay. Now we'll come to is connected to AC source connected to RC. The resistance earlier yesterday what we had done, resistance and inductor. Today we have resistance and capacitor. Okay, this is a Kirchhoff loop rule. How did we solve LC circuit? How did we go about solving LC circuit? Kaushik?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me how, see in this case also we have a V. This is a AC supply source, which can be written as A sin omega t. This is connected to a circuit which has resistance as well as capacitor. We are interested in, first of all, we are interested in finding value of I here. How do I find current in the circuit? What are the method? Can we, it is also going to be similar to what we had in case of RL circuit. Do you recall how did we find current in case of RL circuit? What are the steps we followed yesterday?
Yes, sir. First, we need to find this VR and VC.
How do we find it? You are telling me the today's solution. How did we derive expression for current in case of, we had some term called impedance also. How did we go about doing that one yesterday? RL circuit. We used certain method, certain principles. Do we recall that what we did yesterday? You don't. That's a problem. I think this is something what we did yesterday. We use certain principle. When we do something like this, yes, there'll be some VR. And there are two things we made use of. What are the two things we made use of? Let me ask some more people. Pranav Soma, do you recall how did we find this current here? To find this current, we need to find two things. The current will have three things. I'll just one more thing will help. This current also will have amplitude, it will have omega, it will have phase constant. Omega will be same as this. Only thing we have to find amplitude and phase constant. Phase constant in terms of whether it will lead or lag voltage. How do we find all those things? Pranav Soma, do you recall that?
Yes, sir. So we can find.
How did we derive this expression?
Yes, sir. So I is equal to Im into sine of omega t plus phi. That's the current that's oscillating with same omega. And then yesterday we found out that the applied voltage will be equal to the sum of voltages.
Very good. So what we do, it is based on the principle current in the resistance and the capacitor will be same, and applied voltage will be distributed between the two. So applied voltage in R and applied voltage in C, phasor sum of VR and VC will be equal to applied voltage. That was the principle we have used. Phasor sum of VR and VC will be equal to applied voltage, and current will be same in both. That was the principle I used, and I assumed the current to have phase constant is equal to 0. So basically what we did, this will have some phase. So I'll assume time t is equal to 0 when current is having phase constant equal to 0. That's what we did. So good, Soumya, perhaps you recall something. Let's do that one. Our aim is to determine current at any instance and is oscillating. Okay, so what we do, any instance current will be so applied voltage will be equal to sum of voltage across an R and C element. Okay. All voltage will be oscillating represented in terms of phasor. Applied voltage sum of two phasors. Okay, so let's do that one. What we choose time t is equal to 0 when phase constant for I is equal to 0. So the phasor for VL will be in the same phase. So this is why this is I is and this is VR. They both are in the same phase. So I found VR also in the same phase. How about the VC? What is the phase of voltage across capacitor? This is current in the capacitor. What will the VC be equal to? Pranav, you have told me so much. Can you also tell me how would be the phasor of VC? In terms of phase, will it be in the same phase as current? Lead by 90 degree or lag by 90 degree?
Well, it will be perpendicular to the VR one. So VR and VC will be perpendicular.
In this case, current leads by 90 degree or voltage lags by 90 degree. So when I draw the phasor of VC, it will lag by 90 degree. If this VC will be like this. I is like this, VR is here, and VC will be like this. Okay. Then what we do next, that's what you need to keep in mind. So that's VR and that's VC. What we have to do next, I have drawn this VR and I have drawn VC. Now I'll use this. This is based on the principle I is same, and then we drawn VR and VC. And phasor sum of VR and VC will be equal to applied voltage. So we complete sum of the two phasors. How do we take the sum of these two phasors? It's a vector sum. It's simple. This becomes a phasor sum. This becomes V and this becomes phi. What would phi indicate? Phi will indicate phase difference between the current in the circuit and the applied voltage. What is V equal to? V is easy. We can easily write V value. What is Vm square equal to? Amplitude of applied voltage square is equal to amplitude of voltage across resistance square plus amplitude of voltage across capacitor square. This comes from this triangle itself. And let's put those values. What is VRM and what is VCM? So VRM is equal to Im into R whole square, and voltage across capacitor Im into XC. That's what we had done earlier in the previous slide. So that's what it is, and we take Im common. This becomes this term. Now I can write from this expression, I can find out amplitude of current, which is common for both. What is amplitude of current equal to? Amplitude of current is equal to this term. And this whole term we call as impedance, which is Z. In case of, we had a similar expression in case of RL circuit. What are the term in case of RL circuit? In case of XL, XC, it was XL, rest all was same. Other difference in case of other circuit was here VL was up because here voltage was leading, rest all were same. I have found out amplitude of current. Amplitude of current is equal to amplitude of voltage divided by impedance. How do we find impedance? Impedance is equal to R square plus XC square, whole thing square root. How do we find phi here? Phi indicates phase difference between current and voltage. Phi indicates angle or phase angle by which voltage will lag. IC capacitive circuit, voltage lags. We can easily find tan phi. Okay, what is tan phi include? This is impedance. And Z has same dimension R, it limits the current same way. And what is tan phi equal to? Tan phi is equal to this side with this side. Sorry, this is also I have not corrected. This is VC by VR, and this becomes XC by R. And that's a tan phi. Okay. A very similar derivation. Exactly same. So what we say in case of current, in this case, which is leading? Current is leading. So when we go in this direction, current is leading by how much? By angle phi, i's. So okay, so if this is the voltage, if this is how the voltage will be, how would write the equation for current? What will the equation of current? It will be Im sine of omega t plus phi or minus phi. Current will lead. That's why it will come as plus phi. A value of phi will depend on relative value of Xc and R. So very similar derivation and very similar terms. Only thing you have to always keep remember, this should never forget now. You commit into memory once for all. XL is equal to omega L and Xc is equal to 1 by omega C. So that's your very similar RL circuit, and this is sorry, I think I copied some files. This is I think I have to make some corrections here. This also is a capacitor. I think previous slide I corrected. This I missed. Okay. This also RC circuit only. Any question? Is this understood?
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, can we explain how current leads by 90 degrees here, sir?
In this case, am I saying it is going to lead by 90 degree? See, basically, let's look at this. What we are saying here, in case of, see, when we have voltage here, there are three voltages we are talking about. What are three voltages we talk about here? There's applied voltage here.
Voltage across resistor and across capacitor.
Across capacitor. Okay. This term also will vary as a sine function, and
Yes,
current also will vary as a sine function. Right? Are these two in same phase?
No, sir.
No. So the phase of VC will depend on this term compared to phase of I. See, voltage across capacitor, this phase depends on phase of I. In case of capacitor, what happens? What is the relative value of phase between I and VC?
90.
90. So compared to this current here, what is this? So when you look at this here, this is a current here. Where's VC? VC is 90 degree. And what about VR? Whatever
It will
phase,
be in the same phase as current.
the
sir.
same phase. So if this is the phasor for current, VR phasor will be same. This at what time? T is equal to 0. Can you draw the phasor at time t is equal to t by 12? What will happen at time t by 12? Will the length of the phasor change?
No, sir.
What will happen? All phasors will rotate by what angle?
30 degrees.
So how, if I draw a t by 12, how would the phasor look like? Can you draw the phasor? That's why first case I have drawn that case also. All of you just go through what will happen. The current at this time the phase of current is 0. That time the phase of current will be 30 degree. VR phase also will be 30 degree. What is the phase of VC at that time? Minus 60 degree.
Minus
Are you
60.
following?
Yes, sir.
So whatever current is there, see, this current also varying a sine function. I am differentiating this one. But will this and this will be a difference of 90 degree? No, these two are not at 90 degree. These two are a difference of 5. Are you following now? There are three.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There are 3 voltages and 1 current. All 4 I have drawn the phasor here. See what you need to understand here. If current and see this, what happens between the two? This will not depend within the rest of them. Okay, these two have certain relationship. What is the relationship they will have? This varies as a sine function. This also will vary as a sine function. Both will have same value of omega, and both will reach their peak at the same time. And the peak also is related. What will the maximum value of Imax? Imax will be equal to amplitude of voltage.
Sir?
This also current here and this also related to each other. And this relationship has nothing to do what happens in the rest of the circuit. Are you following this?
Yes, sir.
And then what we say here, okay, this voltage is equal to phasor sum of these two. There's a relationship. And all this relationship is reflected in this figure here. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
If this is I, if this is VR, what will I be equal? So this is something, this is what we are, that's what this phasor reflects. And this angle between the phasors, whatever time we choose, if this angle between VR and V is equal to phi here, at any point of time, this angle will not change. Whole thing will rotate together. To find this angle phi, I can choose any time. I have taken time t is equal to 0, but I have taken time t when the phasor of I is 0. I could have taken time t is equal to 0 when v is 0. Would the value of phi come different? Value of phi will always come same. Can you understand when t by 12? Can you all draw how would the phasor look like at t by 12? See, this what will happen? Everything will rotate by 30 degree. So what will happen? The current also will have the phasor will look like this. This what current phasor will look like. This will
Relative
be
positions won't change, right, sir?
VR will become look like this. And what will happen? This also will rotate, and VC will change like this. This will become minus 60 degree. And this, so that angle between them, and if I take the phasor sum of the two, this will be V. Again, if I take, yes, Ashray, anybody else has any question?
Sir, like I wanted to know why capacitor makes the current lead the voltage, sir. Like why does it create the phase difference, sir?
Okay. But so many others also. Okay, tell me what you understood from this way. I think I did something like this. Okay. If this is the applied voltage, no, I think we had, okay. This is the applied voltage for a capacitor. One is mathematically we have derived. Mathematically, without mathematical derivation also, if this is applied voltage, can you all draw the current curve? See what we understand, I can just give you a hint also. See, if this is a capacitor, let's say when there's a battery connected. When battery has voltage 0, what will be the charge on the capacitor? 0. When battery has a voltage of V by 4, what will be the charge on capacitor? CV by 4. If there's no resistance, whatever may be the potential, exactly same potential will be there across the capacitor. Hence, charge also keep on changing. So when the applied voltage has become maximum, the charge also has become maximum here. Okay. So this charge will vary in the same shape as the voltage. Are you okay? The charge will vary. How if I had to draw charge time curve? The charge time curve also may be something similar.
Yes, sir.
But what is current?
It's a cost curve.
This is charge time function. This will be charge on the capacitor. Now, can I draw the current curve now? What is the current curve? What is current equal to?
dq by dt, sir.
dq by dt. When would current be maximum? When the slope is maximum. Where is the slope maximum? This is the point where slope is maximum. So it is reaching peak here, and this the current will be maximum here. So how the current will vary? Here the slope has become 0. Current will that this time will 0. So if I draw current, how would the current vary with time? Current will vary with time like this. It makes sense. Is this too difficult to understand?
Now I understood, sir.
Now understood. So okay, so you
Yes,
go through. So see, this is, do we have to repeat it every time? No. What we understand from here, okay, what we understand here, we are not talking about, see, when we talk about in this circuit also, we are talking about only what is happening across. Okay, so this is something we are looking at VC. The charge here on capacitor will depend on VC. The charge will be equal to C into VC. So here, when we talk about VC, exactly same thing what we discussed, same thing is happening here. So here, whenever capacitor, voltage across capacitor and current in the wire leading to capacitor, there's a definite relationship. What is that relationship? We derive it once and we have to understand and learn to apply it later on. So whenever there's applied voltage here, there's a relationship between current and voltage. What is the relationship? Okay, if this voltage has certain amplitude, current also will have certain amplitude. What is the maximum value of current as far as only capacitor goes? It will be dependent on VCM divided by what? XC. That will be the maximum current and voltage. And what was the phase between these two? So these, if voltage is varying a sine function, current also varies a sine function. But will they be in same phase? No. Current will lead by 90 degree at all instants of time. That's what we are discussing. Okay, so this hope this is clear. Anybody else also has any similar query? Okay. Let's look at some simple questions here. This question, let's look at, see this, have you understood this part? Say a resistor and capacitor are connected across AC source. RMS voltage is 5 volts. So this RMS value is 5. If RMS voltage across C, let's see. Okay, so I don't know, somehow I made a mistake. This wherever a capacitor, I have to copy inductor one. This is, if RMS voltage across C is equal to 3 volts, then what is the voltage across R? How do we find this? How do you find this? So RMS value, this is 5. RMS value, this is 3. What do we have to find? What is VR RMS value? All are RMS value. This we find from this phasor diagram. What is, how are these three related? We have done that very previous. So basically what we have written here. Yeah, this is how amplitudes are related. If amplitude maximum values are related like this, will RMS value also follow the same relationship or not?
Yes, sir.
It will follow the same relationship. Because if we divide all maximum values divided by √2, which basically means if we divide all those terms by 2 here, I get RMS values. So whatever phasor I have within maximum values, same thing I have in terms of RMS values also. What is the equation I'm going to get here also? So applied voltage RMS value square is equal to VC RMS square plus VR RMS square. This is something like this, and what will this come to? This is come to 4. Why this is something is forming a Pythagoras triplet? Why is it forming a Pythagoras triplet? Because this is forming a, see these two phasors are at right angle to each other. The phasor sum of course will be forming a Pythagoras triplet. So this will be equal to 4. So let's look at this question. Resistance connected in series with inductor, the voltage across resistance and the voltage across inductor. So first just tell me in terms of phasor, what will happen in terms of phasor? If this is voltage across resistance, what is the voltage across inductor? Will it be plus pi by 2, minus pi by 2? Whatever phase the resistance and voltage across resistance have, the current also will have same phase as VR. Okay, can you find VL here? How do you find VL here? Can anyone think of how do you find VL here? And how do you find IM here? What is VR equal to? Sorry, what is VR equal to?
IM into R.
R. And what would VL be equal to?
IM into XL.
XL. So I can find out amplitude from here. How do I find out phase? What is the phase? Here the phase constant VR is 0. Current will also have the same phase. So current also will be something, current also will have phase equal to 0. So what is the phase of BL? In case of L, voltage leads current by 90 degree or current lags by 90 degree, or voltage will lead by 90 degree. So voltage across inductor will have phase of plus pi by 2. So this, either this or this. So I can find out amplitude, and in terms of phase, it will be plus pi by 2. Other two options are not there. So you can solve this as well. Okay, so this almost time now.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, in the graph between I and omega,